People wonder how someone becomes a sex trafficker. What happened to me is a way of understanding how a woman ends up in such a sick business. My mother was a hooker and a drug addict. She had sunk so low she worked truck stops on the road through the Mojave Desert. And she made the mistake of having a child. Me. Her pimp came to the trailer we lived in. He killed her right in front of me. I had just turned 5. We lived in the middle of nowhere, and we didn't know anyone. I learned much later the reason he killed my mother. It was so he could take me. He took me to Los Angeles and sold me to a man, a really, really sick man who only had sex with very young, very little girls. I was groomed, taught all old men had sex with young children. As I grew older, not many men wanted to pay for me. The woman who ran the secluded house where girls were sold, she started telling me I was too old. I wasn't even 18. She said I'd be great at recruiting young girls, just like she did, and she said if I didn't want to be a recruiter, with all I knew, I'd be killed. It was die or stay alive by becoming a recruiter. I put on model auditions with a preferred photographer. We'd put up signs for girls under 16 to come be the next hot superstar model. Then, one day, Angie shows up. I told her to come back the next day for a full photo shoot. The next day, she shows up with her mother, Cindy. That was incredible. Cindy was just 28 and beyond beautiful. Both young, both the most beautiful I've ever seen. I drugged them and put them on a plane to Moscow. Being a recruiter gave me the opportunity to kill the others who took me, the ones who groomed me to think it was fine and dandy to use and sell girls for sex. The Russian trafficker I worked for, Brian, he didn't care if I offed the ones who took me. I jetted to LA for a little reunion. My first visit was to the man who killed my mother, the one who took me and sold me when I was 5, Jones. He was running the strip club because the man who originally owned it, the one who did me when I was 5, wasn't there. But he got off easy, dead from cancer. So I went to the strip club and said I wanted to be a dancer. The bouncer looked me up and down, then sent me to a back office. There was Jones, right where I wanted him. He looked cleaned up, but it was him. I asked if he knew who I was. I reminded him of the Mojave, of killing my mother, just to get a 5-year-old to sell. That got his attention. And yeah, a bit more. A 45 in his sick head. He wouldn't be taking any more little girls to sell. Then I was on my way to visit Irma, thank her for forcing me to recruit girls so she could take a cut of the money. Every one of them I brought. Going to the big house I grew up in, I decided to take my sweet time with Irma. There had been no point explaining to Jones what a scumbag he was. He was a sick, brainless leech, just out for cash, and strippers at no cost. But Irma, she knew right from wrong. She knew what she was, and that she had groomed me since I was 5. She had me believing doing rich old men was all I was good for. Even sadder, I believed her. I was brainwashed. When I was in my late teens, she told me I was good for nothing. None of the old men wanted me because I was too old. She screwed me up without mercy, destroyed my life, so she could make money. She made me feel worthless so she could feel important, feel good about what she was doing. I had decided that for her, it wouldn't be a quick shot in the head. I wanted her to look at the long knife I had brought for her, a shiny one like a mirror to see herself in it. I wanted her to see herself suffer like I had, reflect on what a total psycho she was for doing all that to me. I stood there, letting her watch her reflection in the knife. She knew why I was doing her. The last thing she saw, it wasn't me, no. She saw her own reflection in my knife. I watched her looking at herself in it as I pushed it really slow into her until she collapsed, screaming and crying the way I did thousands of times while being raped for hours by some rich old creep. As she'd looking at what they were doing to me, smiling at me. Yeah, smiling at me, as if that was something to smile about. I'm going to talk about some sick stuff and some pretty intimate things, but they're an important part of the story. I had been working with a photographer who was an all-out perv. He was having sex with the young girls, and since most are virgins, he crossed the line too many times. I kept telling him, do what he wanted, but keep them virgins. He knew Brian had a bitch nurse who would check for cherries. And he'd go do them all the way anyway. Well, lots of girls in the world, but even still, I had to find them. What pushed me to shoot him was what he needed to get off. It was way sicker than I thought. Life always has to be such shit, you know? He could do all kinds of things to them while they were drugged out, tame as little lambs. But no, that wasn't enough to get him off. No, that didn't quite do it for him. Choking them by going down their throats and not letting them get air and watching them turn purple and their eyes bulge out did, though. I wanted to get him after giving him time with a girl I said he could do if he was careful. He's happy as can be. She's laying there, dead. He told me he was down her throat and screwed up. Didn't pull out to give her air. I was stupid. I thought it was an accident. I really did, though. I was really upset. That was her life. That was her life, you know? 2 weeks later, same thing. I told him, do sick shit somewhere else, but not with any of my girls. The 2 dead girls, they didn't deserve being taken. And they sure as hell didn't deserve to die to get him off. He knew they were choking and would die. So I called Brian, told him. He said he'd send a guy. it sounds like a lie, but I cared about the girls. I told him no, I'd do it. Use it as show for the guys in Russia. And I shot the sick bastard. When I got back, I needed a guy who could woo the girls. Charm them, be nice, not kill them, maybe, please. And take great photos and videos. I put a notice on the dark web where pedophile pervs go, saying I needed a guy who took shots of sweet things, code word for young girls. A guy sends samples, and they're perfect. Next morning, we meet at a coffee shop. He had his camera pack, and I bought a cherry strudel, our way of knowing who is who. He was nice. He did it for the money, but wouldn't mind some hot action. Not young, though. I liked hearing that. I could use some sex. I had been doing porn to get laid, but that was sick stuff. Having a guy around to do me when I needed it was a good thing. We covered the mandatory, are you a cop or agent? And we were okay. I asked if he could come to the hotel where I was set up, do some shots of me, to be sure, if he was free. He was, and he took pictures and videos of me. I've got a porn star body, nice face, but I hide all that. I pulled everything off for him to take some shots without much of a setup. Those were best shots of me I've ever had. He was the real thing. As I'm complimenting them, I asked if he'd like to do me. He said sure. We were both way better than either of us expected. Well, he was totally awesome, and I sure was. I mean, I've been doing guys since I was 5. There was one bad part. Just as he started to climax, a Fed burst in, shouting, "Freeze, we're busted." I shouted back to the jerk, telling him, "We'll go nice. Cool your jets a minute until he comes." Anyway, we ended up at CIA headquarters. And the new guy, Mike, well, I liked him, and not just how he did me. There weren't any girls there when we were arrested, so I was just asked a bunch of questions about the two beauties, Cindy and Angie, and then how I worked with Brian and all. And then they let us go. As we walked out, I looked at Mike, and well, I actually pouted, saying sorry for the bust on your first day. How about I make it right by going at you all night? By the next morning, for the first time in my life, I respected a guy. I liked him, and I know he liked me way more than sex. I knew he was feeling something for me, so I told him how I felt. I thought it may be love, but having never been in love before, if it was way better than sex. He said he was feeling that way too, but wanted to be sure it wasn't just because of how good I was in bed. That was a compliment, sure, but I was sure it was way more than that. When we met, he told me he'd been a glamour photographer. He wasn't bragging about it, but he'd done thousands of models. I knew having that many women, he was feeling more than that. I was giving him everything that I had, and he was giving me lots more than orgasms. I still shiver thinking about that day. What a sweet start to a romance like ours. I'd like to say it was all flowers and food ordered in, but what actually happened was I was called back to CIA headquarters. Mike said he'd meet me there, he'd make some calls. I wasn't surprised being questioned about Cindy, Angie. I owned up to what I'd done. What did surprise me was that Mike wasn't a perv photographer. Well, he was a glamour photographer for real, but never the kind I needed. I understand why now, but he didn't tell me what had really happened. He had a sister, and when she was in Morocco, she vanished. Locals told him she'd been trafficked, and he gave up his photo career to rescue her. After a year searching for her, and no luck, a CIA guy was there. I thought he'd be perfect for working with them to find people. So he didn't lie when we first met, and I asked if he was an agent. He had been, but fed up with how they didn't care about each person, and his sister is still missing. He read about Cindy and Angie in a local paper and decided to go find them on his own. And the agency guy he worked for, James, gave him info to help including all about me. When he showed up for the photo shoot, he was really setting things up for that raid. When we first had sex, I wondered why they had let us go. What was true was that he believed in me, understood how I became a victim, why I wanted to kill Brian, and why I was acting as a recruiter. James had doubts, but said if Mike wanted to take the chance of ending up dead for love, he'd give me some time to prove I was a victim like all the rest. If I was, we could do a deal, and I'd maybe work for the CIA doing things like I was doing for cover. I got past the hurt and realized that it was Mike who kept me out of prison. He had faith in me. The big lug was a good Joe, and he was able to see through me. He told me later it was how I made love to him, not just had sex, and because I had killed that perv photographer for the right reason. When Mike walked in, James went out. Rather than explain why he didn't tell me, he took me and kissed and hugged me, saying it was going to be all right and we'd be together. That I believed. Then James walked back in, asking if we were going to go at it in his office, and if so, at least close the blinds. He knew we were in love, and he smiled, happy for us. James said to get me off the charges, I needed to tell everything, and it had to all be true. I told him I would, and he would learn I was out to stop trafficking as much as they were, saying he hoped so. He wanted to go over everything with a woman who did interviews. Mike coughed, managing to get in the word interrogation in as he did. James laughed and said it was only questions and answers, no torture, at least not yet. Laughing as he left, saying follow him to the conference room. I asked if Mike could be there with me. James said no, but he could guide me to the room. As we walked down the main hall, all the agents at desks were checking me out, giving Mike thumbs up, some hooting. I looked at Mike, wondering why they were doing that. Laughing a bit, he explained the agent who busted in on us when we were going at it wears a body cam, and it streamed what he saw to the office, so everyone saw us. I had done that to hundreds of girls, live streaming them, getting naked to change outfits, the perv photographer doing them. I turned to everyone looking at us and out loud told them the truth. Just so you all know, it was a lot hotter than it looked, and Mike is a total stud. I couldn't stop coming. We haven't lit up since I was let out, and I'm worried his dick's about to fall off. I took Mike's hand, and we got a round of applause. As we followed James, now fully hysterical, into the interrogation room. As we went in, I plopped on the couch. I looked at James and the questions started. Most all were about Cindy and Angie, and the Sheik.
Okay, Cindy, you put up with my accent, but you're from the Ukraine, you understand. Sometimes I talk backwards, the still pictures look great. We would have liked the bikini shot, a little thong, but, I think you're so beautiful. The Ukrainian girl, you and, Angie, both, so beautiful. That, we don't need those to get, clients interested, okay? So right now, Jamie, she's sending pictures, to clients all over the world. And, so all you need to do is sit and relax, see if there's any interest. And if there is, we proceed, okay? We, move from there. But first, we want to make sure that, you are what clients look for. I have no doubt because very beautiful. You and Angie, most beautiful women that I have seen. And so I'm hearing from Jamie, things look good. You very high offers for pictures and other things, and I think you'll be $1 million models. I guarantee.
When I trafficked Cindy and Angie to Russia, I kept them drugged. If I hadn't, I may have learned who Cindy's mother was. How could I have known that Cindy was the daughter of a Ukrainian woman who was the most powerful, ruthless, and feared sex trafficker in the world? All I knew was that Cindy and Angie were poor and lived in the worst trailer park anywhere. They were sweet, kind, and innocent. Well, I sure did all I could to change all that for them, and I'm still kicking myself for that. Once we landed just outside of Moscow, my sick bastard, trafficker boss, Brian, you should have seen him. He was as proud as a hard cock. He had sold Cindy and Angie together as a mother-daughter pair. Owning a mother-daughter pair, hot as them, was for sure the brass ring, and they went for $1 million. They were bought with pocket change by Abdul, a genuine sheik, an Arab prince. Brian first kept them captive at his house for a week, needing to instruct them on how to be at least adequate at sex, not just rely on being beautiful. He needed to teach them to fall prostrate before their master or be beheaded. They had to honor him and prove they were worthy of him. Brian put them in custom-tailored, form-fitting burqas and hijabs to cover their faces so no one but the sheik could ever see his property, told that's all they were once they were purchased. When Brian went into their room to begin training them, he told them how lucky they were to not be in the trailer park anymore. That's about as far as he got. He had his bodyguard, Yash, with him standing guard at the door. That's the first time Cindy mentioned her mother. She was speaking Ukrainian because she noticed Yash. He was looking at her, and she knew why. She knew him. They had grown up together, played together, because Cindy had been born in Ukraine. Well, it turns out that the Cindy was sent to the U.S. by her mother, Eliana, to be safe. Eliana had killed her husband, Cindy's father, because when Cindy had just turned 12, her sick father was a trafficker who raped her and got her pregnant. Even sicker, he told Eliana that Cindy would fetch good money when trafficked. Not good for a mother, one who was a stone-cold killer, to hear from her husband. Elia had enough of his sick shit and blasted him away right in front of Cindy, showing her how to deal with a stupid man. Then she takes Cindy to have Angie in America and hides her in a trailer park none of her enemies would ever expect her to live in. Then she went back to Ukraine, totally pissed off at the world. Eliana loses it. She goes off, totally unleashes it all, goes on a rampage that is legendary, killing all her competitors, making billions. She was feared by everyone, even the commie government. And, silly me, I go and traffic her daughter and granddaughter. So, back to Cindy and Yash, recognizing each other. She knew he had to have worked for her mother, and since Cindy was raised by the most ruthless bitch in the world, she knew what to do. While Brian was telling them how lucky they were to be sex slaves, Cindy ignored him and calmly told Yash, "Excuse me, Yash, would you please kill Brian? My mother would appreciate it." Yash understood. Before Brian could even reach for his gun, Yash blasted Brian away. And what does Cindy do? She looks at Yash with her sweet smile and says, "Thank you, Yash. That was nice of you." Now, you'd think she'd grab Angie and run away. Go home. Nope, never crossed her mind. She asked Yash when the sheik was coming, and they stayed, waiting for him. Yash killed the rest of Brian's men, gave Cindy and Angie guns, and he cooked them lots of wonderful Ukrainian food. Did the shopping and all. Just before the sheik arrived, they went to their prisoner room and put on their burqas and hijabs. Cindy had sewn pockets on the backs of their burqas to holster Glocks so they'd be nicely hidden, waiting for their, well, it's pretty funny to say it now, for their owner to come inspect them. When the sheik entered the room, they stood, all subservient, timid, and quiet. He looked in their mouths, into their eyes, and then lifted the front of their burqas to see their bodies. Delighted, he marveled at them, both smiling. He knelt in front of Cindy, lifting her burqa above her waist, then stuck his tongue way out, letting it slide into her, intent on the pleasure of licking her. She took her Glock from behind her back, clipped, loaded with hollow core bullets. And as he was doing her, moaning from such a treasure, lost in it, she calmly moved her Glock right over the top of his head, giving Angie a little wink. She fired a torrent of shots straight down into his head. His head exploded, sending blood, skull, bones, and brains all over as his body fell. She looked at all the splatter on them both and told Angie they needed to shower, and it was time to put on some pretty dresses. Here's the thing about Cindy doing all of that. It was as natural as making a sandwich for lunch. Only a girl raised by Eliana could be that calm and confident. I learned later she was teaching Angie how to deal with silly men. After they put on dresses, and heels, of course, she called her mother, explaining she wanted her to take good care of Josh. Eliana gets on her jet to come see Cindy and Angie and to get Josh. And the wildest part, Eliana is as hot as Cindy and Angie. They all look alike. All three have Glocks strapped to their thighs, and they're all fearless, deadly as all hell. Eliana accepts Cindy doesn't want to stay and be a trafficker, and that Cindy and Angie want to head back to the US. On the way, Cindy uses a cell phone to see if she has enough money in her bank account to pay her electric bill. She looks, gently nods, handing the phone to Angie to see. Eliana had wired $50 million into her account. Angie wondered if they could buy a better trailer home, maybe somewhere nicer. Cindy explained she didn't want to use the money for them. It was trafficking money. She and Angie agreed it would be nicest to use it to buy lots of guns and those hollow core bullets. They figured they could go act as bait and take down traffickers. Cindy said, Angie, well, as we're so pretty and all, that would get their attention. Angie agreed that as they were rocking hot, they'd find the biggest traffickers, lift up their skirts, then blow their brains out. They wanted to stop trafficking, and they knew the answer nobody else in the world seems to have figured out. They knew the only way to stop trafficking was by stopping traffickers dead.
Not here. It can't happen here. It can't happen here. Not here. No. It's a mistake. It can't. This can't be.
If you don't know who I am, you must have someone at home taking real good care of you. Everybody else, they watch porn to watch me, and I kind of don't believe you don't know who I am. I've never met a man who didn't know, and they all want a bit of whimsy. Me. Maybe you've heard that, maybe not. All that? That's a stupid little speech I have to say at the start of every porn I make. I'll say this for it. That little speech is making me gosh darn famous. And when you're famous, you can be on OnlyFans. They pay to watch, video chat. I'm in pigtails, and, well, nothing else except some cottony highs. And I say, oh daddy, I can't get off without my daddy. Will you make me be good, daddy? And the guys? They'll be typing emoji, like drooling, happy faces made for pervs, texting. And I say, yeah, oh, yes. Get off with me, daddy. I just have to look at a little webcam thingy and say, oh, thank you, daddy. I'm your little girl. But they have to put $50 into my bank account first. Well, this is a secret, really. It's more like 500. See, the poor guys, ones without someone? Well, they all say the same stupid stuff. Like rub myself off. Show them my training bra. Play with a doll. Do myself with the doll. All that guy stuff. What they don't know is that I'm chatting with 10 of them. Yep, I can chat with up to 10 at a time. And all they want is to hear me moan and whimper. Pretend I'm about to cry. Say, please, please. Oh, please make me be a good girl. They'll whack off. Then they're happy. And me? Well, even then, I'm not really going to be happy. I'll be happy to make money. I sure need it. See, if I do porn, and do all kinds of sick stuff nobody should ever do. Then I'll get famous, and then I won't have to do porn anymore. I'll do my own fan site and keep all the money. But to do that, first I have to do porn to get known. You know, I don't have much. I mean, much of a life. But do have my little sister, and I need money to take care of me, make money fast so I can take care of her. Our parents, they died. I think about it every day. It was my fault. 3 years ago, I was outside too late. Someone tried to snatch me right out of our driveway. Take me and do bad stuff to me. My dad, he was so careful with me, and I loved him and my mom. The guy, he has a van, and he sees me, and nobody was around. He just picked me up, then started carrying me to his icky white van. I started screaming. Yeah, I screamed so loud. And I'm so sorry, so sorry. Sorry I ever made a peep. I'm sorry, I am. I should have let that man take me. My mom and dad, they were home, and they heard me screaming. But the guy threw me in the van and zoomed away. So my dad and mom got in their car to chase him to get me back. They caught up pretty quick. And my dad, he was a good driver, real good. He forced the van off the road, and it smashed into the side of a church made of all bricks. The van is, like, totaled. My dad, my mom too, they jump out to get me. And the man? He had a gun. He got out as they ran to the van. Well, what I saw. Well, still can't talk about it, but they both died. The man, he was fine, of course. He took their car. The cops said they couldn't find him, but I don't believe them. I still don't know why, but the man didn't take me when he ran away. Thank God my sister was at a birthday party and was okay. We don't have any other family. So, the state gave us a new one. I'm pretty sure the name for them is Foster Fake Family Monsters. You know what? The state? They pay my fake dad money to take care of my sister and me. But you know what they really pay him to do? Rape me, rape me, rape me. Oh, yeah, and also rape me even some more. And my little sister? I can see it. Oh, he wants to go at her real bad. So now I do porn, I'm becoming famous, and I'll have my own fan page. And I'll make lots of money, buy a little house. Get my sister away from our foster dad. And I'm working my body real hard. And I have some money saved up. A few more weeks, I'll start my page. And there's a woman I do porn with that I'm really into, you know? I like her so much. She asked me why I do porn. She knows I'm so little. Cute as a button and all. I'm like, just 5 feet, about 90 pounds, for real blonde. And, at most, I look like I'm a young teen. But I'm 19. And, nobody believes me, but I am. Both my sister and I, we have this gland thing. We'll keep looking like kids for a long time. Not grow taller, all that. And in porn, they want you if you're 18 and you have to prove it. I tell ya, they really really want you if you're over 18 and you look like me. Look like a little kid. But if I go to a fast food place for a job, they say I am lying, that I am, like, under 16. The porn people? I showed them my ID and they hired me after just a few auditions with a few guys, and giving all the guys on the crew some action. So, that's my plan. And the porn woman I like so much? I was thinking if I get my page going and get a place, maybe she'd come live with us. Do her own fan page. I mean, she's a star. She can take a room full of guys all at one time. Tonight I'm going to ask her to take a shower with me after a group thing we have later. I'll say I need help getting all that gunk out of my hair. I don't think she has a family either. I think one time she said something about a brother. Before she went to college, I think, but I could have it wrong. If you watch porn, you've probably seen her. First name's real. Sharon. Last name's made up. Sharon Succulent. She made a joke that her brother, oh. That's why I think she has one. She said her brother would hate her name as he's a Catholic. Me too. And she said she made that name up to sound like she's saying, succulent, make it give it up for Lent. Then, she adds no meat on Friday. So she likes to film with girls, like me. And oh, my Jesus, I love when she does me. I asked why she isn't a Catholic anymore. She said she found a special religion. It's called The One. And this is crazy. She does porn for The One. All her money? She gives it to The One. If she's that devout, I can see that. Just as long as she doesn't give me to The One. I do think that's all kind of weird. But she's nice to me. I think I love Sharon, and I'd like to be the one for her. Even if I'm just a little one. Oh, I meant to tell ya. My name, Whimsy. Everyone, and I mean everyone, thinks I made it up. Nope. I didn't. And I'll never have anything except the one name. Whimsy. When I was old enough, my mom said my dad got her pregnant with me, all unexpected. He came home on a Friday and told her he's taking her to a resort place. She asked him what the occasion was. And he said, just a little flight of whimsy. When I was born, she said I was that flight of whimsy. Nope. I don't have much, but I have my sister. And my name. And that's something no one in a van can take from me.
When people they hear a mere name, they keep quiet. Not good to talk about bad lady. Someone may hear, tell me what you say. If that is what is they worry, that is good. All people good to fear trafficker. They take children, sell TRM, ruin families. And I am the one who has hurt many people. I know how to what I do, I want you should know. Ask self how does trafficking lady do such bad things. And police government they no stop her. Maybe you get smart, learn reason. It is lesson one I learn, you can learn if you want. Men once who become rich become powerful. They no get that by being nice, doing right thing. They are rotlers, care only for self, no others. I no go to TRM, they come to me. Yeliana, I know what you do, they tell me. I tell TRM, I know what I do, no need you to tell me. It is same bullshit each time. They threaten, they say they put me away. But each time I know what they will say next. Yeliana, you bad lady, but there may be way to keep you free. 10 I play game ask what could I do to persuade a man of such power to not lock me up in Galak. They look round, make sure none here. They say, nice little girl, maybe virgin. If I give to TRM. They forget name Yeliana. I shrug, say if I should give little girl for sick pleasure. What happens when she has period gets older? They give 6 mile, they say. Yeliana, you take how way she will set up. Give me new one. Maybe younger one not in school yet. It is always same. They want more, they want you a girl one you have. If no, they have to pay for girl many rupees each time. So if I say no, they say they take me away. If you are smart, you will know what I know. Without men wanting little girls, there be no trafficking. And if I not get girl for TRM, they come in night, lock you up. Take you a child. I am still bad lady, do horrible things. But you are still alive, not in Galak. Because I give what they want. It is bad thing, and how can I be good if I do bad? I had daughter, I had son. I had husband. Now no husband. He rape my daughter, rape my son. I kill him for those things. And I send my children away. You ask when such bad things done to my children. Why do I do bad things to children of others? Good question. I come back alone. Men come say now bastard husband dead. I am beautiful woman, no man to protect me. Say they take me, make me slut for TRM. I act like I fear TRM, say I no want to die. I need something if they must take me. I get thing. I get gone and shoot TRM. Am I sweet daughter? Why she rapid be why man am I husband her father? It was because I let him. No more. Now I am alone because men think those things. Girls won't say tick. Men they would tick anyway, girl would end up dead. With me I tell men who want girl. That I will do. But you heard girl. I kill you. They know I will. I can no save you a girl. But I can keep her alive. That is what nasty lady does. It is still bad thing. It is bad word. For women. I tell you if you woman. Better with gun in hand. 10 tear in a. Like me.
I was listening to this pop song. Yeah. I was listening to this pop song. I was listening to this pop song. Yeah. It goes, oh, she's a little bit psycho. Well, that's exactly what everyone says about me. Far out, right on, all that stuff. You know, when you're beautiful, and I mean really stunning, like me, people say lots of mean things. they have to deal with the fact that I have a whole lot of fucking power, and I do mean fucking power. And yep, I'm not afraid to use it. It's like this. When I shoot someone because I feel all giddy and want some fun, they say all kinds of hurtful things. Things like I'm a psycho, and that's a bummer. Because if they say that, I shoot them too. So I guess you could say I'm misunderstood. I really am. Little misunderstood. Now, I'll tell you how it all went down. My father, he was a big motherfucker in the Magdalene church. The most important fucker, really. You see, the Magdalens, they have all these old fuckers. We call them elders. And the Lord saith, giveth the elders lots of really young virgin girls. As many as they want. Some of them have, 20 or more. That's a whole lot of young stuff to come up with. And those old fuckers, they want them all to be really young. About 12, around there at the oldest. Back to my fuckhead dad. He was the fucker who gathered up the girls, put them in bride dresses, and married them off to the elder fucks. I grew up with all that shit, and I thought that's how everyone in the world did things. Old fuckers get lots of sweet little virgins. That is, if they gave lots of cash to the church. The thing is, it used to be that the daughters, the little brides given to the elders, they all had kids with the fucking elders, and those were the main stock of those sweet things. But there were never enough young girls to feed the elder fucks. But back to the shit show. Helping my fuckhead father groom the sweeties, I actually thought I was special because I was trusted with doing all the work, and I was his little daughter. But when I was 12, one day the fucker tells me, Josephine, put on a bride's dress. Freaked out. I said, what? What the fuck are you talking about? Dickhead says, you be bride now, and elder be ready for you. All I can tell you is, that was really not okay with me. Nope. Not one bit. Not okay. When I heard that, one bit. When I heard that, I snapped. Maybe that's where the she's a little bit psycho fits pretty nicely. Wow, I remember it all. So after hearing that bullshit, I went to the barn, got a shotgun, revolvers, loaded them all up, then blasted away my fucking family, all the brides, and blasted the heads off. All the elder fucks. Sent all of them all to Kingdom Come. Man, what a mess. It all made blood and brains all around. So yeah, with this huge ranch, we had a backhoe. Yeah. And I went and I dug a big hole. And I gotta tell you, it was the greatest time, ever. I dumped my father and then the elder fucks. Then all the poor little brides. I watched the little things landing, sprawled all over the elder fucks. Then I went to the edge of the hole and I shouted to them, yeah. That enough sweet young stuff for you fuckers? I swear I heard them all shout back, no Josephine, there will never be enough. But that was just me, jacked up on the whole deal, yeah. Then, as I was covering them up, I heard the phone ringing. I ran in and answered it as I was the only one left. It was the big shot church elder, the head dude, asking when the next batch of brides would be ready. I said, well, little bit of a hiccup there. Yeah. I killed my fucker father and all the brides and all the elders waiting for them because I was all pissed off. He didn't even react, not a bit. He just asked, Josephine, what about the next batch of virgin brides? I sat down at the desk and said I'll be taking care of it. And that was the day I took over doling out young girls to elder fucks. The thing is, in this church, any place really, geezer fucks, the ones with lots of cash, it's always the same thing. They all want really young girls, all virgins. Then I expanded the operation, started selling brides to anyone if they had enough cash. I mean, I operate all over the world, and with all our missionary places, I get little ones from all over. So go ahead. Pick your favorite size, whatever age, color, be adventurous, try something new. I have exactly what God wants you to have. And now, I'm the one. The one. The Holy One who provides the blessing of sweet young stuff to those in need. Nowadays, to get that many, I have to deal with a lot of crazy fucks. The ones who get all the girls, snatch brides off the streets, if needed, and when I do that, if any government officials get all high and mighty, that kind of shit, if the law or any government fucks give me a hard time, then I stop giving them any sweet young things. All I know is that sweet, young, virgin stuff is the most powerful thing in the world. Ever. Nothing else better than young girls for old fuckers, and I'm the one who provides it. Now, if I'm a little bit psycho, pop a cap in a few heads, let them know who they're fucking with, nobody has a problem with that. Keep the action rolling, and I keep on going. Okay, now that you know all that, take your pick, but no more than 10 this week. You don't want to piss me off. Okay. Yeah.
¿Qué podía hacer? Nos estábamos muriendo de hambre.
¿Qué podía hacer? Nos estábamos muriendo de hambre.
Hi, I'm Angie, and I'm not a trafficker, but I can tell you the story of one who was really scary. His name is Peter, originally Petre. Eliana, my grandmother, shot him as he told my mom, Cindy, he was going to kill her. He also killed Whimsy's little sister, and he had a thing with Sharon, Mike's sister. If you want to understand how traffickers think, Peter is a good example, and ones like him, it's why traffickers need to be stopped. Okay, here goes. Once upon a time, there was a little boy. He lived in Peru with his sister. They were orphaned and very poor, without a family. The boy knew he had to take care of them both. Each night he prayed to Mother Mary for help, and each day he asked people for food, but they spit at him, chased him away. His name was Petre, but he chose to call himself Peter, like the apostle. One day he saw a man who had riches and heard the man had started as poor as him. Going to the man, he asked him how he made so much money. The man admired his asking, saying, it was simple. When just a boy, he too had a sister, very pretty. When she was only 6, one fine day, a wealthy man offered him much money to sleep with her. He told Peter, what could I do? We were starving. The man offered me enough money for us to eat for a month, asking only for an hour alone with my sister. I saw no harm in it. She didn't know it was wrong. She was only 6. Peter looked at his gold teeth, his rings, his fine clothes, then asked if he kept letting men sleep with his sister. The man smiled, telling Peter, a man must be wise. If one has something of great value, one can sell it. He told Peter another man came asking for his sister, offering him enough money to buy a small house, but not to just have time with his sister. For that much dinero, he would need sell his sister. Peter, being a smart boy, understood and agreed it was a good bargain, but said he had more than a house. He had riches. The man shook his head and grinned. Peter, you are a very smart boy. Yes, I had a house, but what about food? What about a few nice things? South, I found myself walking through the poorer parts of town and saw many pretty young girls there, all hungry, all abandoned. As I looked at each one, Peter, it was a miracle. I didn't see a girl. Peter, one was a car, another gold to put in a safe, another one a bigger place. A light from heaven shined on me that day. This I swear for. I found myself saying, poor girl, come to my place. I will feed you, give you pretty clothes. What could they do? They were starving, and I offered to take care of them. Peter nodded, then asked if he sold those girls once they were cleaned up. The man patted Peter on the back, saying he was a smart boy, but one with more than smarts. He was a boy with a very pretty sister, and he told Peter if he didn't sell her to him, he would take her from Peter, sell her, and keep the money. He asked Peter, right now, hearing what I said, what is the smart thing to do? Peter looked and he was angry. The man was holding a gun, laughing, telling him, "See, Peter, this is how the world works. If I don't do it, someone else will. You are a smart boy and I am a businessman. I will give you a chance. If I don't take your pretty sister, you must go get girls from the poor towns, pretty little ones, very young, for me to sell. I'll give you money for each one, and in no time, you will be rich." Peter, he was smarter than the man thought. He went, rounded up 3 girls from a small town nearby, and gave them to the man. He gave Peter money, saying he had done well, but Peter didn't buy food with the money. He bought a pistol and many bullets. Going back, the man asked if he had more girls. Peter answered by taking his pistol and shooting the man. He told the girls he saved them and he would take care of them. But of course, he sold them to rich men. He sent his sister out to find girls and she found many, telling them she was a friend. Peter told his sister they would make even more money with girls from wealthy families, ones very pretty. Going to a rich home, she talked a beautiful young girl into coming with her to be free of her mean father. As they walked away, the father ran out and shot Peter's sister, leaving her on the road in front of his mansion where she died. Peter heard she was killed in the road, and he went to find the man who shot her. The man came out shouting to get away from the dead whore. Before he could say more, Peter shot him, took his daughter, and he became famous for being the one who killed the rich man who was so cruel to kill a girl. He became a hero. Little girls flocked to him, saying their parents were mean to them. And Peter, he had no sister, no parents, but he had girls to sell. If any fathers come to get them, he would kill them. Each night he would pray to Mother Mary, thanking her for the gifts of young girls needing him and for his pistol. Peter believed he was doing the right thing, saving girls from bad places, selling them to men who would feed them, treasure them. He was sure he would make Mother Mary proud. As he grew up, he believed he was on a mission from God, and that made him a dangerous man, one who would do anything. He had never read the dictionary or the Bible. He learned what all he knew from a pimp, a man who ruined lives, killed people. That is the story of a trafficker my mom and I know we have to take down. He takes girls from all over the world and he has no soul. He joined a cult, one run by a woman who calls herself the One. We need to take her down too. She is the one we need to stop, all right? She takes every word in the dictionary of trafficking and writes her own story. Some traffic for money, but ones like them? They're the worst traffickers of young children. Peter thinks he's doing the work of God, and the One, she thinks he's holy, one to be worshipped. But in the dictionary, there's a word they should have read: mortal. They don't seem to realize they are mortal and will die. I went back and looked up the word, kill. It means to stop a life by force, with intent. My mom and me, we fully intend to kill them by force. Is it right to do? That is not a question. It's not about right or wrong. We know it's wrong to kill, to harm someone with bad intent. What we do is to stop girls being killed if they fight or resist the traffickers. We know what's really wrong is to let someone kill or harm others if you can stop them, but don't. I looked up the word save. It means to keep someone safe, to rescue them. The only way my mom and I know to keep all those young girls safe is to do way more than rescue them. We need to kill the ones who take them, don't care about them, will sell them. So we stop them. Yep, that's what we do. If we kill the traffickers, sure, we're killing them, but we're saving thousands of girls by doing that. Stopping traffickers is our story. And the words we put together in our story, only 2, bye-bye. 2 words is all we need. We say bye-bye to traffickers. If they look at us in fear at that last moment, my mom, she is so helpful. She asks them, what part of bye-bye don't you understand? There's one more story, and it's a hard one to hear. I'm just a girl, but I've learned so much about people. I wanted to help my mom by making some money, and I went to a model audition. I trusted that if some traffickers were taking girls there, the police or a government agency would stop them, tear down their signs, take their ads off social media, do everything they could to stop traffickers. But they don't. Nope, they don't. My mom and me, we worked with the top guys at the CIA, and at first we trusted them. It's so sad because behind all the traffickers are those guys running those big agencies. We learned that we can't trust anyone, not even the ones who took an oath to protect all of us. Trafficking is everywhere. The government knows it, and they can do something about it. So ask yourself, why don't they? When it comes to money, power, and young girls, between those things or doing what's right, there are ones who do the wrong thing. Here's a story about a government agent we trusted. And it's why we fight traffickers. We don't see anyone else doing it.
It all caught up with me. I had to face that I fooled myself every minute of every day since I joined the CIA. See, I thought I was a good guy, a do-right man, protecting people. I can't be sure I ever was. The thing about the CIA, they recruit a certain type, someone who will do anything under the guise of the bigger picture. They have profilers, sit there and look for that type of guy. A coward, a scumbag who uses a badge or ID card to fool himself. He's a good person. And boy, they had my number. They really did. A year after becoming a bureau head, the director called and said there was a problem he'd like me to take care of. Yeah, that's how it started. It was a simple request, really. Some woman was causing a problem, not specified by the way, and she needed to be taken out. That's what he said, taken out. I had always thought of a woman being taken out to a dinner or show. I knew the lingo. He meant kill her, and in a way that couldn't be traced back to the agency. He said he turned to me because he knew I wanted to do well, rise up the ranks, and it was all just between him and me. So I went and did it. No, that's agency speak. Let me say it right. I went and killed a woman and didn't even know why it was being done. Looking back, I knew she may have done nothing at all. It wasn't about her. It was all about me. If I do it, and if I had a problem with doing it, yeah, a test. Some woman was killed to see if I'm a killer. And worse, if I got off on it. See, if I questioned it, doubted it, asked why. I'd have never rose up the ranks at the agency. He wanted a guy who did it, then went and beat off over it, got pleasure from it. And that was what I did. I didn't have to beat off later. I came when I was doing it. Sick shit, man. Fucked up to the max. I don't know how he knew, but he probably heard it in my voice when he asked how it went. I was a little too okay with it. Said she got what she deserved. Then, he said something that was the clue about me. He said no, she didn't deserve it. She hadn't done anything. He just wanted to see if I wanted to do more of that kind of assignment. Me? I said, sure, I'd like that. No anger, no outrage, no I'm quitting. I said I'd like that, and then I was put together with other agents who were just as sick as I was, who got off on killing, the power, the thrill, and the worst, sexual pleasure from it. I just want the world to know that every agency, police department, they all have guys like me, someone who should be doing right, but really joined to be able to kill and not get in trouble. Did I ever kill anyone for the right reason? I don't know of any, really. Even if they were ones who deserved it, the policy was to bring them in, learn things, not kill them. In time, I learned my targets were ones who stood in the way of the worst criminals. By then, that meant nothing to me. I was helping the ones I was supposed to stop. So, I know it will catch up to me someday. I'll be a target. I know too much. It may be the agency that takes me out, or one I've been sent to kill. It doesn't matter. I'll be dead either way. I just wonder if they'll get off on it.
I see you looking, got your blood a cooking. You ask how old that girl can be. In a world full of girls, I'm a diamond, I'm a pearl. What the rich ones want, you know it's me. I ain't faking, baby I'm not taking. Come on and make a grab for me. Yeah, I'm the prize, little thing the right size. Ain't nobody been in me. I know what you do, you're more than a screw. You wanna grab then sell me. Baby I ain't faking, baby I'm not taking. Try and make a grab for me. Oh, woe is me. Bad guys all want me, but I know just what to do. Baby I ain't faking, baby I'm not taking. Try and make a grab for me.